I say ciao.
Ciao a tutti.
Yes, welcome to another episode of Driven. It's pretty exciting for me. I'm here with a fellow Italian. Hey, Paisan, how you doing?
Tutto bene, I'm doing great, thank you.
So I'm bad. I don't really know any Italian. I took a semester in college and I don't remember it. But
it's okay, we're going to teach you something.
It's okay.
Right
I got
now.
my hands.
We're good, that's right.
I've got Diego Stefani.
Stay funny. But
Stay
yeah.
funny with me today in his Maserati.
Bravissima.
Diego, so you are the owner of, I say it's Giro Pizza, and it's that. How do you say it? And
No, that's
what is
right.
it? And what does it mean?
Okay, so Giro in Italian means tour, and a lot of people come in and say gyro, and it's not gyro. A lot of people come in and ask if we have Greek gyro sandwiches, which we don't. A lot of people come in and ask me.
And
if
that's
my name,
Euro, technically,
yeah, that's
isn't
Giro,
it? That's what they
exactly. Yeah. So we tell them we don't have that. Then they ask me if my name is Giro, and I tell them no, there's nobody named Giro here. So Giro Pizza, the concept tour of pizza, is something that's very popular right now in Italy. And you sit down at a pizzeria and they do like a Brazilian steakhouse, and they bring you multiple different types of flavors of pizza. Yeah, so you're doing a tour of pizza. So we started the restaurant on that concept, and so since the concept in Italy was known as Giro Pizza, we said let's just call it Giro Pizza. So we pre-COVID had servers touring the restaurant, multiple different flavors, all you can eat if you will, including dessert pizzas, and people loved it. And then of course Mr. COVID came along and we had to pull a handbrake on that and then kind of rethink everything. So that's where the word Giro comes from, and that's what it means.
Do people still have the option to do the tour of pizza?
Right, yeah, so we kept the Giro because we needed to stay true to the concept. The only difference is we can't go table to table with the pizza. So a table comes in, they can still do the Giro. They order 4 flavors at a time, so we do what we call a quattro pizza, dividing the pizza into 4 quadrants. They get 2 slices per, and so they can still do the all-you-can-eat, including dessert pizza, but we just place the pizza down at the table. But we really have a lot of customers saying, when can we get back to doing the real Giro? And I said, as soon as we possibly can, we definitely will, because that's part of the whole dining experience, right, is being able to experience that and have the waiters and waitresses going around the restaurant with different types of pizza.
For sure. All right, so what is your favorite item on the menu? Like, if we were going to go there for lunch right now, what would you order?
Well, I mean, if it's a pizza, my favorite pizza is, and it's our #1 seller, it's called the Pera.
Is that the one with the gorgonzola and the pears?
Yes.
So good.
It's funny because when we first launched the restaurant, we were telling people, you got to try this. They're like, what, gorgonzola with pears, nuts, and honey? No, that sounds like dessert. I said, just try it. So everybody loves it. It's our #1 seller. That's what I would eat if it was a pizza. I'm a big fan of our homemade gnocchi, which are the homemade potato pasta dumplings that we do in multiple different sauces. That's what I think is our #1. Yeah, we do it with bolognese.
That fills you up.
Oh yeah, it's a filler. It's definitely that's all you can eat if you come there, because it's definitely a little heavy, but it is melt in your mouth delicious. One of our most popular appetizers are the Antipasto Misto, and that consists of a nice piece of Tuscan melon with prosciutto di Parma on top. You get one of our famous homemade meatballs, which is my grandmother's recipe, by the way. Arancini.
I've had those. Those are good. I've had the meatballs.
You enjoy that?
Yeah, and I love arancini.
Arancini, the fried rice balls, and then we also include...
Does yours have a sauce or anything?
Yeah, we do a little pomodoro sauce, like a tomato sauce, our homemade tomato sauce. And then we also include a little bit of caprese, so the fresh fior di latte mozzarella, tomato, fresh basil. So that's our way that you're able to taste all of our 4 appetizers, the more popular, all in one plate. And then on the pasta side, if you don't want heavy, we have a really nice lobster ravioli, again, which we make in-house, that comes with a vodka sauce, cherry tomatoes, and then garlic shrimp sauteed on top of that, which is really awesome.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about you.
I've got a little bit of a different story, although I sound 100% non-Italian. If I need to put on the accent and speak like Italian person, I can do it, no problem. Especially when the police pull me over for speeding. No.
And your name's Giro.
My name is Giro, exactly. No, so I was born in Milano, where my parents still live today. Yeah,
okay.
Born in Milano, and so I'm working here, Italian passport, green card, all that good stuff. But married a California girl.
Okay.
And I moved to the United States actually at a young age, right around 12 years old. My dad's job took us to Chicago, of all places, and lived there for about 10 years, then moved back to Italy, went to college, and then eventually moved back to the United States in 1996.
So you went to college in Italy?
Yeah, in Europe, and
that's
actually
so
in
neat.
Belgium. Boston University had a campus there, and I wanted to stay in Europe. I finished my high school in Italy, and I wanted to stay there. So went to Boston University's campus in Belgium, and then worked a few years in Europe, and then came back in '96. And of all places, Evansville, Indiana. It kind of looks like that.
Hay bales.
A lot of cornfields, but I met my wife there, so there's always a reason for things to happen. And then we moved to California, where she's from. We lived there for about 15 years, and now we've been here in the Dallas area for about 8 years, and we love it here. We absolutely love it. So my dream has always been to have a restaurant. Like you said, we like to make people happy with food and good wine, and so I actually have a career that's not the restaurant. The restaurant is my investment, and it's run by my wife. But I've always wanted to have. We had a catering business in California, which was kind of our first time dipping our toe into the food industry pond. And then when this opportunity came around of a location very close to home, and me and my partner, who was my best friend back in Italy, said, let's do this. And so we kind of came in this not with a ton of experience, but I can tell you that the restaurateurs around the Flower Mound community, from Marty B to Rick Valley, they've been just great in helping me get this thing going and providing me with their expertise. So we're doing kind of a new venture here, but it's been a learning experience, and it's also been satisfying as well. But I'm a sales guy. I run a sales organization for an Italian air conditioning manufacturer. That's
What?
my day job. Yeah. So,
Oh my goodness.
yeah, people say, how do you do both? I said, I still haven't figured that part out. But yeah, so the restaurant is an investment. It's something that I've always wanted to have, and that's really my passion. But the day-to-day job is I'm a director of sales and marketing. So that's what I do.
Okay, so what was your first car?
My first car.
Because it was not a
It was
Maserati.
not a Maserati. This is what I call my girlfriend. In fact, I tell my wife, I said, I'm going to go off a ride with my girlfriend real quick.
Well, crap, that doesn't look good when I'm in the car.
Yeah. We'll see what she says when we pull up. But no, so my first car was when I graduated college. I got it as a graduation gift from my father. It was an Opel Vectra.
Okay, I don't even know what that is.
Opel is a German car. They don't actually sell them here in the States, but now they're actually part of the General Motors group. Oh, that was my first car. Then my pickup and get the girl car was an RX-7 Mazda.
Okay.
And that's how, even though my wife will tell you that car didn't really impress me, she loved that car. So that was my little, I'm going to call it the single Diego car. That was what I would consider my real first car.
So then, are you driving your dream car now, or do you? Let's hit it. Is there any stops? Let's do it. It's okay, Mom. I'm fine. I have my seatbelt on. Oh my, yeah, that was fast. Ooh.
Yeah, no cops on this car. We're on this road.
That was fast.
It was 100 miles an hour. That's nothing. Let's go on the freeway. Come on, Angela.
No.
Let's go on the freeway.
No. Let's talk about wine.
Let's talk about wine.
Because you have an investment in wine as well.
Correct. That is right.
So, well, tell us a little bit. What's at the restaurant? And you have a wine dinner. You have wine dinners.
Yes.
And you've got one coming up.
Yeah. So, wine is, as you know, being Italian, wine is part of life. You grow up as a young age, sipping a little bit of this
Chianti.
and that, and Chianti. And so anyway, wine is a big part of Italian cuisine. It's a big part of the Giro Pizza and Trattoria restaurant. We try and focus a lot on the Italian wines that people haven't seen before. We do have a couple California wines, but the majority of our wine list, from reds to rosés to proseccos, majority Italian vineyards. My partner and I have an investment in an azienda agricola, as you call it, which translates basically to a farm where we have our own wines, olive oils, and organic farm. So,
olive oils?
Oh yes. It's kind of neat. So we sell our outside the hills in the Tuscan hills outside of Florence in the Chianti region. We make Sangiovese based wine. We have about 8 different wines that we make, and they're all organic, and we serve them at the restaurant. So, what we try and promote is you're never going to find this bottle of wine anywhere, because with such a small production, and customers like to be able to taste our wines. And so we've done a couple wine dinners where our winemaker came over from Italy pre-COVID, but we saw that the wine dinners were taking on, and so we bring in a guest chef Italian guy that has come in, and he's an amazing executive chef. Does 5 courses. We pair it with 5 different wines. We have a sommelier come in, usually live music, and those wine dinners are every 45 days. We even created a wine passport, so if they get 5 or 6 stamps on our passport, they actually get a free case of my wine. So we give them a little incentive to come. Yeah, so wine's the big part of what we do, and we want people to come in, and we even have Vino Wednesdays, Wine Wednesdays, where 50% off on all of our house reds, whites, and Proseccos to encourage people to come out and,
that's a great deal.
See us. Yeah, so it's wine is life.
My daughter once said ricotta is life.
Ricotta can be life too.
And so I believe that. I really do. And when she said that, I've never been more proud. Being a restaurant owner, it's not for the faint of heart. So what would you say is one of the most challenging things that you've experienced, and how did you overcome it?
Yeah, that's so like every restaurant here in town, COVID kind of peeked its little head out and threw a curveball to all of us. Difference, I guess, with us is, we opened in October of 2019, and come March 20th, all the restaurants get shut down, so we're not even 5 months into it, and now we're having to deal with this obstacle. And luckily, we had pizza, which is a to-go type food, so when we became to-go only, dine-out only, curbside only, we had a product there, but then we had to start thinking outside of the box, and that's where, my friend and your friend, executive chef Franco Russo, came over and gave us a great addition of expanding the menu, Italian appetizers and pastas and entrees, and adding more to the dessert, and adding the family menu, and doing what we called our pizza party pack, where we could give dough balls and sauce, cheese, and ingredients, and people were taking those home because kids were at home and they were making their own pizzas at home and posting it on our Facebook page. So really, when we hit COVID, we had to make a shift. And that shift was, now we're no longer just a pizza place. We are really more of a restaurant. And in Italy, we call it Trattoria, family-owned restaurant. So we added the word Giro Pizza and Trattoria to the name of the restaurant. And people even would say to me, Diego, when you drive by, it kind of looks like you're just pizza. But when you come inside, we need to let people know you are way more than just pizza. And that's really what has gotten the word around. And obviously with the wine dinners, people are saying, wow, maybe you need to take the word pizza off and just call it Giro Trattoria and whatnot. But anyway, so we had to make that change and shift, and we're still here.
And I absolutely love the family meals and the to-go ordering. And I know it was definitely a challenge for a lot of restaurants that weren't already doing that sort of thing. But I'd have to say that, that is kind of a little silver lining. It's kind of hard to find, but,
Yeah, out of the bad comes the good, right?
Yeah.
And you got to make the best of it. So, and I will say this, that, the community around here, being a Flower Mound resident myself, I've been overwhelmed with the way they've supported not only Giro Pizza and Trattoria, but all the restaurants, and coming out and giving us business and realizing that it's a struggle. Just a couple weeks ago, with the issue of hiring people, we actually had to close a couple days because I didn't want to give a bad customer experience. And you wouldn't understand how many emails and texts and phone calls I got, and then people coming in sending friends, and even I had one lady come in and said, I'll just work for free, you're not going to close another day. And it was just a great feeling to have the community come and support a single family owned restaurant like ours. And so we want to give back. We're like, hey, we're here and we want to be open, and we're coming up with new ideas. We got some new things coming up here in the next month or so that I think will be a way to say thank you to the local Highland Village and Flower Mound community for supporting us.
I can't wait to see what those are. That just made me almost cry.
It was a tearjerker.
That really got me kind of, okay.
It was a tearjerker, yeah.
Who would you say in your life has had the biggest impact?
It's got to be my dad. I know that, he's always been a good example through the thick and thin. He was definitely, someone who taught you about life and to prepare you for life. And now living halfway around the world from him and seeing what I've been able to do, he always tells me how proud he is of me. And so he definitely is someone that I've always looked up to and has always been able to guide me. And they come in pairs, so my mom is always there. Whenever I leave Italy, she'll pull me aside. She goes, now it's time for mom's words of wisdom, and she'll always tell me the do's and the don'ts. And so it's hard to have parents halfway across the globe, but my dad would definitely be, or my parents, let's say, have been the ones that have influenced me the most.
And you mentioned your kids. How many children do you have?
So we got 2 daughters, a 19-year-old that's at Belmont University, majoring in songwriting, minoring in business music.
Yes, and she has sung at your restaurant.
Yeah, she was our live Saturday singer, and a lot of people are wondering, will she be back for the wine dinner? When are we going to see her again? But yeah, she's studying there and is a sophomore up there at Belmont. So, and then my youngest is 13-year-old Amelia, and she's a 8th grader at Downing Middle School. So we got the two girls.
I've got the 2 girls too.
I'm surrounded. So. I'm always the guy that's wrong at home because I'm surrounded by females. So.
All right. So my last question: what drives you? This is the purpose of the show on Driven, is to find out what drives you every day besides your Maserati. To keep on going, do the best you can in all of your endeavors, and for your family and for the community.
Yeah, I mean, for me, relative to Giro, it's all about making people happy, right? Happy with food, and I did that before the restaurant when I'd have people over. We'd invite them over, and I'd always put a big old spread out, and they're like, well, we're never having you over at our house because we can't do this. And so the day-to-day for me is going into the restaurant, seeing people smiling, talking, enjoying the food, telling me that it's the best pizza that they've ever had outside of Italy, and thank you so much for bringing a taste of Italy to Flower Mound. It's the satisfaction of seeing people happy, and being able to bring a little bit of my country, here to the local community. That's for me the satisfaction I have. Of course, we don't do it as a hobby, we do it as a living, and so we work hard. It's blood, sweat, and tears every day, and it's not an easy business to be in. That's something I've found out, and bottom line is you just never quit. You got to just keep on pushing, and we've got a great team at Giro, with my wife leading the way there, and you're only as good as the people around you, is something my dad always told me. And so he always said, you never fail until you stop trying, and we're never going to stop trying.
Yeah, there you go. Boom.
I want to say this, though, and you can put this on there. I want to thank you because I've been watching all these Driven videos, and I think that what you're doing to help promote and support local businesses is awesome. You don't need to do it. You're doing it to promote your business, and oftentimes I'll watch your videos and I'm like, she really doesn't say anything about what her business is. So now I'm going to ask you a question. Angela, tell us a little bit more about your business. What do you do?
Well, let me drive the Maserati, and then you can ask me the questions. Just kidding. I'm with Dagley Insurance, and I'm the Regional Director of Business Development for Dagley Insurance. Awesome. So we do home, auto, commercial. So when your policy's up, and if you want to get another quote on that, we do that.
Anything that's insurance.
Pretty much.
So if you need insurance, give Angela a call.
Thanks, Diego. Grazie.
Prego.
Well, again, I'm Angela Kreig with Dagley Insurance. Thank you, Diego, with Giro Pizza and Trattoria.
Bravissima.
Okay, good. And thanks for tuning in to another episode of Driven, and stay driven, everybody.
Arrivederci.
Let's hit it once the light turns green.